All right. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, get yourself something to write with, something to write on, and or something to record with. Regardless, you want to make sure that you don't miss this information. I also want to make sure that you are making your last minute text messages and phone calls. I do know that Mr. Australia is set the Zoom to go live as far as Facebook Live around about this time. So let me see here. Yeah, let's see here.
Like the new background, Mr. Bean. Nice.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here.
Yes.
Okay, good. We are Facebook Live and Facebook ready. So again, now you guys have the ability to go ahead and and make sure that you are now tagging your business partners and associates in the Facebook Lives that we have going on while you're texting and making some phone calls to your prospects, last minute people who and guests who you knew were going to be here. So you invited out. Let's see here. What happened to Sarah? How Sarah get kicked out? Let's see here. All right. All right, guys, if you're jumping in, if you want to go ahead and let us know who you are, where you're calling from, that'd be great as well.
Kyrie John at Brooklyn, New York.
Kyrie, welcome to the call.
Philip from Jacksonville, Florida.
Philip, welcome to the call. I see my guy Alonzo. What's going on, Mr. Lascano?
What's going on, Mr. Santine?
Man, everything, man, everything is going on. The wealth is going on.
I'm on my way to LA to Mr. Calvin's event.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All over the United States. We're building all over the United States of America.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. Let's see here. All right. Mr. Aegis Alaka is on the call. Welcome. Timothy Neal.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Glad you joined us.
Timothy from
Thank you, sir.
Chicago.
Timothy Neal from Chicago. Welcome to the house. Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mr. Bean.
Yes, sir.
Kathy Jewell, Houston, Texas.
Kathy, H-Town is in the building. Welcome to the call. Guys, we'll get started in a couple of moments. Want to make sure we take a second to make sure you got yourself in a nice quiet spot. You want to be able to take some copious notes, right? You want to make sure that you don't miss a thing. Yeah. And if you're driving, it's recorded. So stay driving. Don't be trying to take notes and drive. It's going to be some good stuff. We'll pull over if you want to take some notes, right? But again, glad to have you guys on. We will be getting started at the top of the hour. This is an opportunity for you to make your last minute text messages and continue to invite your guests, while we're actually presenting. It doesn't matter. It's never too late. Just want to make sure that the people who you care about do not miss this information, right? Let's see here.
Angel Tran, Houston, Texas.
Hey, Ms. Trent, welcome to the call.
Leroy, St. Louis.
Hey, Mr. Woodard, welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Sabrina, Houston, Texas.
Hey, Sabrina, what's going on?
Hi, sir.
All right, glad to have you. Let's see here.
Should do this and this.
All right.
Okay, hi, Emma Artist, Northern Virginia. How are you?
Fantastic. Miss Artist, welcome to the call.
Thank you, thank you. Good to be here. Very good. I'm excited about this new company, and thank you for your inspiration.
Well, I appreciate you, and I love your energy. Glad to have you. We need more people like you in the family. Come on with it.
All right, now. Well, hey, we got we know a lot of people. We're gonna bring them all over. We're gonna certainly share the information with them and let them make the decision. But
That's what I'm
it
talking
is a
about.
no-brainer, shall I say?
I like that, man. I should have sponsored you. Who your sponsor? Let me find out who that sponsor is so I can have
My
that switched
man,
over.
Rod OB and Gerard.
That's what I'm talking about now. Good people, real good people.
Thank you,
You
sir.
did good for yourself. All right, guys. Again, this is the moment we've been waiting for. We will take one more round of introductions, 60 seconds. For those of you who are coming in, as you can see, the lines are piling up. I see Franklin Mays out of Oklahoma. Let's see here. Let's see. Mr. Cruz just joined us. All right. Matt just joined us. Barry just joined us. Smiley just joined us. Yeah, it's lighting up now. That's what I'm talking about. Don Riley is in the building. Hey, Don. Iggy is in the house. What's going on? Hey, Wisconsin is in the building. Go Green Bay Packers. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Landon is in the building.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right, all right, guys.
sir.
Let's see here.
Gabby Tober, Orlando, Florida.
Gabby is in the building, the promoter of promoters. She's gonna make sure y'all know that the calls are getting started every time we have a call. Jerick is in the building, one of H-Town's finest. Welcome.
Leslie Johnson, South Carolina.
Leslie Johnson, South Carolina is in the building.
Adrian Basurto, Pico Rivera, California.
Say that again. What's the name of the city?
Pico Rivera, California.
Is it Pico Rivera?
There you go.
Ay, that's what I'm talking about. Bienvenido, eh?
Thank you.
Thomas Watson from Atlanta, GA. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mr. Watson, welcome to the call. All right.
it's Florida, Yvette.
That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the call, Mr. Johnson. And guys, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make sure we go ahead and get this show on the road. We're at a point where we want to go ahead and get this thing started. So let's go ahead and put all of your microphones on mute. We want to make sure that we give you guys some clear and concise information. Like I said, make sure you're putting yourself in a position where you can take some very good, copious notes. Okay, and make sure you're still texting while the call is going on. It is never too late to help somebody out. Okay. And so what I want to do right now is I do want to take a moment to introduce your first speaker. This is a woman I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Okay. And when I look at, professionals, you have people who get caught up on titles. And just because she's a doctor, she's one of the sweetest human beings I've ever met. She's one of the most respectful and humble people I've ever met. She doesn't let her success go to her head. Okay. She's a consummate student. As a matter of fact, she followed me and my wife for months. When I say months, maybe 5 or 6 months. And then when she pulled the trigger and she came on board, said, I'm ready to be mentored, coached. And normally when you have people who make multiple six figures, that's not how they behave. Unless this woman, that lets you know that this woman, again, knows how to handle success. And her coming into this company right now, guys, her and her family, she's turned this into a family business with her daughter, her son. They're making big things happen, and they're making moves. And so, what I want to do is I want to move out of the way for none other than my partner in crime tonight, my colleague for this set, Dr. Arlene George out of Maryland. Doc, are you ready?
Thank you, Mr. Bean, and good evening, everyone. Mr. Bean is also one of the most humble leaders that I've ever met, and him and his wife, Mrs. Bean, they have a true servant's heart, and I appreciate them. Yes, I did stalk them for a while. That is definitely part of my story. I stalked them, but it's okay. As a result of stalking them, I have been exposed to this opportunity, and I'm telling you, my family and I have been really, really blessed. So I just want to say to you this evening, welcome to BYLD Network. Tonight, I want to share with you a business that has allowed me to work alongside my young adults, to build an inheritance where we get to be in a family business specifically, celebrities, athletes, they become our children's, and they don't, my kids, they don't like to be called children anymore. They like to be called young adults. So I'll go ahead and do that. Athletes and celebrities, they're their idols. But I get to be in business with my young adults, and we get to set goals as a family together. And one of our goals with this business is to empower 500 families over the next 12 months and to give them an opportunity to earn at least $5,000 in recurring monthly income or more. If you want more, there is more. I'm going to go over the opportunities in a moment, but the platform that we chose to help families with, to help families build a legacy, or to just help families to earn additional income is the BYLD platform. When I looked at BYLD, what I saw was not just an opportunity to make money, but an opportunity to build a legacy. So that when I leave this place, I will be remembered. They better put my picture over some mantle, my young adults, and 4 generations from now, they're going to say, oh, that was a great, whomever, grandma. And that she hooked us up. When I look at the industries that I've participated in, like Mr. Bean said, I have a background in medicine and I have a background in financial services. For me, this opportunity has given me the ability to continue what I started in medicine and with my other business ventures. I want to see the best in people. I want to see people healthy. And I could diagnose and I could prescribe in medicine, and I knew what, promoted good health. But I also knew this, 75% of my patients would not do what was required to win at staying healthy. When I saw this platform, I saw something that could basically be a part of, that would make a difference in people's financial health. They and my young adults could make a 6-figure, probably even a multiple 6-figure income without having to do what I had to do in medical school. They didn't have to go to medical school. They didn't have to train, go to undergrad, 4 years, train, and do all those other kind of stuff. Or even in financial services. They didn't even, you don't have to get licensed. This week I heard a quote and it really hit me. And it says, desire requires a trigger. Desire requires a trigger. And this is what got me about BYLD. Whether you're here with a desire for additional income, whether you're here to add another division to your business, whether you're here to stop driving Uber, build wealth, or fire your boss, BYLD can help you. I'm hoping that the information that I shared today triggers that desire in you. And basically, who are we? What are we here for as BYLD? We're here as BYLD to help you to build your mindset, build your business, and build your net worth. Starting with our platform. Our platform has 4 verticals. You can build a career in one or all. You don't have to choose. You don't have to feel pigeonholed. When you look at high ticket sales, because that's what we are, we're a high ticket sales brokerage. A lot of people are turning to high ticket sales. And with the verticals that you're about to hear tonight, there are millionaires and billionaires who are already participating in these industries. And you get to come in for a nominal fee and participate just as they do, to have the same types of returns that they do. It's a level playing field. When you look at business today, more than any other day, you have to own a business. As a matter of fact, the CEO of LinkedIn said, there will come a day when jobs will not exist. Back in the day, they said, hey, there's only going to be the poor, or there's going to be the wealthy, and the middle class is going to go away. Well, nowadays, people are looking at AI. They're outsourcing jobs outside of the country. They're doing anything and everything to eliminate the positions that you work in, that I work in. But I don't take it personal because I understand this. It's business, and no one's coming to save me nor my family. They're looking out for their bottom line. And if you don't have a plan B or a business, you're setting yourself up for a letdown. Entrepreneurship used to be a should. Entrepreneurship is now a must. That's why we have the gig economy. When you look at companies like Etsy, Uber, I know, would you trade places for you with your job to become the CEO of those companies? I know absolutely I would. Why? Because they're smart people. They're people who saw a need and they understood that there is a need, and the individual who fills that void is the one who becomes the millionaire or the billionaire. That's the person who solves the problems. We get paid to solve problems, which by definition is an entrepreneur. So if you look at the companies like Etsy, like Uber, they're empowering millions of people within the US and outside of the US with gigs. I call it the right now money because it's not long-term money. It's the right now money. The masses are not getting rich off of Uber, Etsy, and all of that. They're getting by. It's like a Band-Aid where they make enough money to get by until they figure out what's the next step. Where do I go from here? When you look at opportunities, and when you specifically look at this opportunity, I want you to take copious notes, because you're going to see that what we're offering here today is not just one that you can get into a really good financial economic status situation, but one that can put you in a position where you never have to worry about money again. Most of us are taught how to evaluate a job, how to evaluate employment. But have you ever been taught what to look for in a company? Most people haven't been. They haven't. So when you're looking at and you're evaluating companies, you have to ask us, make sure that the companies that you're looking at check these boxes. And we check these boxes and some. Box number one, are they in industries with a big target market and a low market penetration? If you don't know what a target market is or market penetration is, look it up afterwards. Because if I told you right now, let's all get into the cell phone industry. You get excited at first because it has a big target market. But the cell phone industry is saturated, which means it has a high market penetration, which means there's not a lot of money left other than in iPhone 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. What about also looking at a market? Make sure it's essential goods and services like gas, like electric, like water, right? When push comes to shove, people keep the gas on, they keep the electricity on, and they keep water going. And then look for an industry that's going to thrive in a good or bad economy. The companies that we've partnered with, they check all these boxes and some. So let's look at these 4 verticals. I mentioned the 4 verticals before, and there'll be more coming. But basically what we're doing is we're creating an ecosystem, kind of like Apple. Apple started off with the Mac, and people bought into the Mac. It was reliable. Ooh, the graphics, all of that. And then they added the iPhone, the iPad, the iWatch, the Apple TV, and everything else. So, and they even created this tug of war between Android and whether you're an iPhone person. And the diehard iPhone folks, guess what they have? Everything that Apple has to offer. Well, we're creating a home essentials ecosystem. Yes, an ecosystem. That means anything related to the real estate industry and money with home ownership, we're going to have part of it within our ecosystem. And we started with solar. This is our flagship service. Why? Because residential and commercial solar has a financial impact for families. So let's look at solar. Now, the impact that we have is that we're bringing people home, because the average solar deal with us is $6,000 to $10,000 in commissions. That means we're bringing people home from that second job. You don't have to drive Uber, right? And $6,000 to $10,000 can bring people home from their first job. Think about that. If you're making $25 to $30 an hour part-time, you're making $2,000 to $3,000 a month. One deal. This is the impact. These are the family. I talked about those 500 families, 5,000K. When they make that kind of money, guess what? They can come home. If you're driving Uber, come on home. If you're selling for Etsy, come on home. If you're door dashing, delivering other people's food when you're hungry, come on home. All these things make money, but with solar, they can make exponentially more in one solar deal, right? That means you're no longer just barely making it, right? Sometimes it's not even about getting rich. It's about being able to breathe. It's about giving people time with their families and in relationships. Matter of fact, I read an article that said $500 more a month could actually decrease the number of divorces within the US. I'm gonna let that sink in. We're talking $6,000 to $10,000. Imagine the difference when a husband can take his wife on a vacation and he doesn't have to work 40, 80 extra hours when he comes back home to make that happen. And that's just solar. Let's look at water. 2 years ago, water was a $7.8 billion industry. Let me repeat that, $7.8 billion. Not in 2023, $8.45 billion in water filtration. Our water company is Rain H2O. I like to say, make it rain, because I'm passionate about helping people extend their lives by the quality of water that they consume. What you bathe in, what you drink, and what you cook with makes a difference. Not just the water that's coming out of your tap, but what about the water that you pay for in the store? That bottled water, it's not good. Test it. We think it's good. We think it's clean water. Why? Because we bought it in a store. But you would be amazed at what you see in that water. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. All right. So the company that we partnered with has the best machine on the market for half the price, and we pay more, $1,000 to $2,000 per sale, bringing families home. And then we have security. I mentioned earlier about the economy, right? No one's coming to save us. As jobs are lost, as the inflation rises, the need for home and commercial security also increases, because as those jobs go away, right? What also happens? And crime rate goes up. So we have ADT and Brinks, $500 to $700 per deal. $500 to $700 per deal. But we're not a Me Too company. So I'm about to introduce you to the new sheriff in town. And that sheriff is called Ripple. Ripple is I have a military background. I was an Army physician before I went out into the public sector. So I love the military. God bless the USA, right? And with Ripple is a military grade portable security system where it creates a bubble in your environment. And then if the pressure changes, an intruder opens a window, breaks a glass, opens a door, it triggers the alarm. But that intruder cannot turn that alarm off. For me, that's important. I have a daughter. Yeah, she's kind of spoiled. But when she was in college, I wish I had a Ripple security system, because you know the stats in college. Unfortunately, bad things happen on college campuses. But with the Ripple system, your daughter is protected. With the Ripple system, when your wife travels for work and she takes it to the Airbnb or she takes it to the hotel, she's protected, right? So we're in industries where people with high target markets, low market penetration, essential goods and services that people need. And we're also introducing people how to make money. And the residual income part of it, my mentor, thebomb.com, we call him the GOAT, Mr. Bean, is going to talk about the residual income part of it. But when you look at the numbers, just really take a look at the numbers. It's staggering. So let's talk solar. When the government decides that it's going to back an industry, watch that industry. And the federal and state governments are backing solar. Why? Because we've only got 3 grids, 3. East Coast, West Coast, as well as the Texas grids. If any of those electrical grids go down, we're in trouble. Matter of fact, I was at a briefing and they talked about the electrical grid. So the government is giving massive incentives for people to go solar. Because why? Ease up those outdated grids. Let's look at the trends. Let's read. I like to call it reading the signs. Look at California. You can't build a house in California without solar. Read the signs. Elon Musk, the head of the Department of Energy Efficiency. What does that tell me? Elon Musk is about to take our country into the solar age. As a matter of fact, I was talking with Hans, who's one of our mentors, and he said last week alone, 497,000 people went online and searched solar and for solar installations. So you're in a market where people are looking for what you sell. There are over $130 million homes in the US. 90 million of those qualify for solar. Yet still only 5 million have installations. That means there's 85 million homes without solar. Large target market. And let's talk about the consumer. You see, the most important person in these transactions, because we look for a win-win-win situation, the most important person in the transaction is the person that you're solving a problem for. And that's the homeowner. That's the consumer. What's in it for the consumer? How do they win? 50% off their energy costs, 0 down, financing. As a matter of fact, I was working with a client and we did a site survey for her, and they realized that she would need a roof, right? The mentor and I called the client and said, hey, you know, you're going to need a roof before we can actually install your solar. And she was excited. She said, yeah, I knew I needed a roof. She said, how much is it going to cost me? And we told her, but we also informed her that as a result of what she qualified for, we can roll the roof in 0%, still 0% down for her. And on top of that, it's still less than the electrical bill that she was paying. So now she's going to own her solar versus renting it. Not only that, she owns a roof and has a roof replaced, and she still saves money. That's what I call some big dog savings. Also, blackout protection. My mentor likes to say that he's in Texas and he has a hurricane in his back pocket at any given time. But because he's a product of the product, he has solar and he has blackout protection, right? The last time they had a hurricane in Texas, guess what? 44 people died. Why? Because either their life-saving devices were not powered or they overheated, heat stroke. Another example of blackout protection, Idris Alaka, who's one of our mentors. An older couple came to him wanting solar. Why? They don't normally have blackouts, but they had one. And the husband was on a breathing machine, which couldn't be powered, fully powered, which meant his life was in jeopardy. And they never want to have that feeling ever again. So they're owning their solar, their energy, as well as getting blackout protection, not to mention tax credits and all of the other incentives. It's a win-win situation. We help consumers every single day. Let me ask you a question. What do you see here? Right? What do you see? I know you're saying, obviously she said she's showing me houses that don't have solar on them. So therefore she's trying to lead me into saying an opportunity. But what I see here is I see individuals who are already paying for solar, but they don't have it on their house. They're already paying. Take a look at your energy bill. Next time you get your bill, take a look at it. And what you're going to see is you're going to see clean energy projects. And it's not going to be a lot. It'll probably be $1, maybe $2, not a lot at all. But that clean energy project, that's only $2 to you. Over 1 million customers is $2 million a month for the energy company. And what are they doing with that? I know Pepco, where I am in Maryland, they have 3 solar farms that consumers are paying for, still renting the solar from them, but they're paying for that solar. What else do I see here? Well, I also see people that need home security. I also see people that need clean water to be healthier. I also see people who need a money education with our Smart Money program. All of those opportunities are tied into this one slide. if you take advantage of it. But don't take my word for it. I want you to listen to what other people are saying about going solar. Right? An EXP real agent actually referred this client. And as a result of the referral, before solar, $287 a month. After solar, $148 a month. One of the business owners, JC Rango, likes to say, a solar presentation is not a presentation, it's an IQ test. And it really, really is an IQ test. Why? Because it's a win-win-win situation. The consumer wins because they own versus renting. The company wins because guess what? We install and we make a profit, and there's nothing wrong with the profit. I'd rather make a profit than a wage. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'd rather make a profit than a wage. The mentor wins, in that case, the person who takes you refer to, and the mentee wins. In this case, the commission is $6,400. Let me drop that for a minute. The mentor makes $3,200 because they take the client from when you introduce them, you collect the bill, you pick the interest, you collect the bill, you choose a mentor, you book the appointment. The mentor then takes that deal from soup to nuts, beginning to end. That means site visits, everything that entails financing all the way to installation. $3,200 to that mentor. Another one, Florida. My goodness, I know all you Floridians in here, raise your hand, because I know that Florida has high electric energy bills. $410 before solar, $290 after solar. Again, a solar presentation is not a presentation, it's an IQ test. It's also a win for the consumer, a win for the company, and a win for the individual who brought the deal to the table. A win-win-win situation. And in this case, the commission was $8,200. The mentor made $4,100 and the mentee made $4,000. I like to put this slide in here because sometimes, people look at the solar and that price tag at the beginning and they're like, oh my goodness, solar is expensive. What's actually expensive is the increase in the cost of energy over time. And in this case, you're paying $225,000 over that time span, where you could pay your $54,000, go solar, and save $171,000. What could you do with keeping $171,000 in your pocket versus giving it to the Pepco CEO who can take his family or her family on that trip? Just think about it. Let that sink in for a minute. And if you don't want to take my word for it, maybe you'll listen to Warren Buffett because he has billions. And I'd exchange my bank account for his bank account any day of the week. And what did he say? He said, energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. In history. And not only did he say that, he put his money where his mouth is and invested $4 billion into the energy industry. If Warren Buffett is going to invest $4 billion in the energy industry, who am I to not follow? Who am I to say that I know better? Now, the gentleman that I'm about to introduce you to, we call him the GOAT. He's the GOAT because not only is he a family man, he's the GOAT because not only is he a veteran, he's the GOAT not only because he has created 7 figures in 4 different industries, but he's the GOAT because he understands money and wealth transfer, and is my mentor in taking part in this wealth transfer through the BYLD network, Mr. Samuel Bean.
Wow. That was an excellent presentation, Doc. I mean, you really killed it. I mean, the flow, your calm, cool, collected, delivery, and I'm just telling you, you're a student of the game because I can just hear, how you've grown, and I just know you're present every time someone does it. Because again, you're just picking up pieces, of every presentation that's out there, and almost like a beautiful Dr. Frankenstein. So I'm just telling you, I'm loving this. You guys are working me out of a job. One day you won't see me here, and you guys won't care because we have some people in this company that are really lighting it up and then doing some big things. And again, guys, put some ones in the chat, for Doc, celebrate her. Let her know you appreciate, her work and what she did with you guys today. She shared, her moments and her beliefs with you guys today when it comes to this company that we're talking about today. And again, like she said, my wife and I, we've had a measurable level of success. We've made seven figures in three different industries, right? And I don't say that to impress you, but this to impress upon you that I was retired. I did not have to do this company, and I came out of retirement, 3 years of retirement, because I saw what this company was going to become. I saw the potential of it, and I wanted to be a part of it, right? And so I'm excited because again, I get a chance to participate, not just in a company with amazing people, people who I care about, people who I serve, but I'm in a company where we have, a foundation built around what the richest people in the world are investing in right now, focusing in right now, right? When you look at Warren Buffett, this man didn't just use this quote, right? He doubled down on it. He put $10 billion out of his own money, okay, into clean energy, into investing. Right? And so if he's investing in it, how they say success leaves clues, right? That means that you should be investing in it as well, some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay? And so for me, I'm looking at this company, as something that I can go out here and do my life's work with, right? And when you talk about the economy and what it's like right now, it's not in a good position for a lot of people in it, right? And you say the economy, and I'm talking about the unique economy that's under your roof. I'm not talking about the U.S. economy. I'm talking about the one at your address, right? Because under your roof, you are the president of your household, right? And you make the decisions, right? You are the reason why the economy in your household will do great or it will do bad. And the one thing I want to offer you guys is an opportunity to make sure that you take the economy in your household and you give it an increase, right? And so this company pays you seven different ways. And I'm not going to go over all of them for the sake of time, but there are some that I do want to touch on, and because I do believe that they are very important. Okay, like Doc said earlier, this is a high ticket sales corporation, right? And not a network marketing company. This is a company that you can make six figures or multiple six figures on a very part-time basis without recruiting, and guess what? Without actually having to go out there and tell people you're in network marketing. And so this is very, very important. So when it comes to you having an actual career, legitimate career in sales, direct sales, and you're giving people what they want and what they need, the company is going to reward you handsomely for it. 70% of commissions on those personal sales go to the people who actually create that sale, that transaction. So give you an example on let's say a small deal. The average profit on that deal is $10,000. And on that $10,000 deal, you'll get 70% of that, which is $7,000. Now, when I say you as the originator will get half of that deal, which is 3,500. If you are also the mentor that does the presentation and closes the transaction on the back end, you get the other 3,500. Okay, 7,000. If not, you split it. And I'm gonna just tell you right now, when you look at a person who is working a job, a 9 to 5, right? A person who makes $7,000, let's say a month, right? And that person, let's say that person makes 20, I would say $25 an hour. That person has to work 300 hours, right, to make that $7,000. This is something that you can do in moments without clocking in for anybody at your leisure. Okay, so I want to, kind of let you know when it comes to platforms and leverage, guys, this is something that you can leverage to the hilt, and you can do a deal a month, a deal a quarter, right? Depends on what you need. Or you can do a deal a week. It's just a deal a day. It's on you. Okay. So with that being said, when you look at the person who's on the back end of the transaction, the person who does all the heavy lifting, right? This is the mentor. This is the person who does the presentation. So after you actually take your process and you go through your first three steps, those basically real easy in order to make that first half of that transaction. Step number one, peak interest and give a person the benefits that Dr. Arlene gave you earlier in this conversation. Number two, get the bill, get the utility bill for the last 12 months so they can actually do a mock-up and figure out what you paid and then how to make sure you save. Okay. And number three, get that bill and make an appointment, set an appointment with our experts. Okay. Our experts are the mentors. So once you do that, you get out of the way. Okay. Now you can sit in on the presentation or you can go and find the next deal. Okay. But it's in good hands at this point in time. The person who the mentor is, that person is going to now show the homeowner the mock-up of the AI panel, AI mock-up of the solar panels on the roof. Okay. Going to show them what they look like. They're going to do a 10-15 minute conversational presentation 100% about solar as it pertains to their life and their house. They're going to go over financing, right? They're going to go over everything, the tax credits, all of that good stuff, right? And once that person makes a buying decision, both you guys get paid on that transaction. Okay. And to become a mentor, 3 training sales is all is required on top of you closing 5 deals of your own and then completing a company certification. Once you do those things, guys, again, you're now in the money. See, we want to make sure you get to the mentorship position fast. Guys, in other companies, it's not even about how many deals that you do. In other companies, it's about politics. It's about you having to take the rite of passage. And you might have to do 10, 15, 25, 35 deals before they consider you to be a mentor. Here, again, we lay it out. It's black and white, no gray area. We want you to get into the money right away. We need your help, honestly. Guys, we're growing so fast. We're probably the fastest growing solar company in the US right now based on our unique business model. So we don't have time, to be greedy. We don't have time to be selective when it comes like basically playing politics. We want you to come in. We'll make sure you're qualified. Then we'll turn you loose, right? So for a person that's wanting to become a mentor, they have to now come to you. Right? And this is how you manufacture money, right? This is how you put yourself in a position where you now can start helping other people and benefit. Okay? So these are not people who you personally recruited, but they're just people who know that you're good at what you do. And let's just say you have 3 people who know that you're good at what you do. They come to you every month and they want you to become a mentor, help them become a mentor. They do 3 deals just like you did. And 4 people times 3 deals is 12 deals. $3,500 on average per deal, guys. That's the split. That's $42,000 in commissions. That's a $500,000 a year. Guys, we're talking about 10 times the amount of money the average person in North America makes for a living. Okay. You're doing this, okay, from the comfort of your own home on a very part-time basis at your leisure. That's a huge situation. That's for you to be in, guys. That's a very, very big situation for you to be in. Okay. When you look at the late great Zig Ziglar, he has this quote: "You will get all you want in life if you help enough people get what they want." Okay. And I always tell people, if you put everybody else's family first, your family will never ever be last. Right. You'll never be left wanting. Okay. You'll always deserve. So this is how we put everybody else's family first. Right. We put you in a position where you don't just eat off what you personally earn. Okay. When you become the founder of the Feast for Other People, when you invite other people to your brokerage and you now start to build a solar brokerage or a water brokerage or a security brokerage or just a high ticket overall bill brokerage, guys, you now start to earn money just like a real estate broker, just like an insurance broker, just like a mortgage broker, any type of sales, a company who empowers and employs a sales force, they get overrides on the backs of everybody else's expertise. Okay. And so we're putting you in that position without having you go through the whole entire trial and tribulation of owning a company. Okay. And so as a consultant, you coming in off the street and saying, "Hey, I want to be a part of this opportunity." What we will do is say, "Hey, every time someone in your organization and your brokerage does a deal, you'll get 20% override on the override commissions." The override commissions is that 30% that's left over. Okay, so that's $600, per transaction. $600 per transaction in that example. Okay, so when you actually get 10 deals done in a month, guys, that goes up to 30%. So that same $3,000 that you got 20% on, let's just say, and for example, you're getting 30% on that $3,000 now. So now it's $900. Okay. And so when you understand that this is about volume, it's not about people, guys, you now will bring people into your brokerage. You'll empower that person, equip that person, make sure that person's trained so they can go out there and earn as much money as they so desires. And guess what? Every time they go out and earn some money, guess what? You actually earn some money as well. Again, that's why you open companies. Okay. When you hear people say, well, I don't want to override on my friends. Well, guys, let me tell you something. Somebody is. If your friend has a job, if your friend is a professional that works at a brokerage or is an independent contractor for a brokerage, that person is somebody is benefiting off that person's work and that person's effort. It's hard, guys. It's almost impossible for you, okay, to make money anywhere in the world today without somebody benefiting from it. That's broke mentality. Okay. And so I want to make sure that you open up your minds, okay, because the rest of the world is not going to slow up so you can catch up. Okay. You want to make sure you get in the game. You want to make sure you now figure out how the richest and wealthiest and most successful people out there in the world are making money, and you want to mimic them from your level. You may not have your money, their money, but you actually have platforms that can give you the same type of power and the same type of reach. Okay. So as a consultant, as a manager, as you see director, it goes up 35% front line. And as you can see, overrides down to infinity. They increase as well, all the way up to 45% at national, 25% down to infinity. And guess what? You are now getting profit sharing at executive and national. Okay, when you look at that pool, they take every transaction, okay, that they make, and they take 2% of the profits and they put it in one pool. They take 5% of the profits and put it in another pool. Depending on which one of those positions you're in, guys, you now split the money and the revenue in that pool with the other people that are swimming with you. Okay. And so kind of like a Scrooge McDuck situation. Y'all are doing the backflips and backstrokes and gold coins, not and Bitcoin, right? So again, this is the reason why a lot of people are coming here. You got a lot of people who want to make a lot of extra money on sales, but you have a lot of people who see the impact on owning their own brokerage for pennies on a dollar. Example, when it comes to being a manager, say you have 10 consultants in your team, right? Four all do a deal that you personally sponsored, and six who are down to infinity in depth, they do a deal, $6,300 in overrides, right? You do one deal, both sides of the transaction, without having to be an actual mentor, right? That's $7,000. $13,000 a month if you do that every month. Okay, that's 150 grand a year part-time. Then you have everybody do two instead of one. Guys, you basically just put yourself in a position where instead of $150,000 a year, it's $250,000 a year. Okay. So think about that for a second. How many people do you know that are making this type of money? Okay. Without actually having to go out there and open up a full-fledged company or corporation, traditional brick and mortar store. Not a lot, but I can tell you a lot of people in the solar industry, they are. Okay. I know a lot of 19 and 20-year-olds who are making 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month. And they're knocking on doors, they're making phone calls, they're on social media getting leads, lead generating. They know the money is on the table. And guess what? They're not sitting there thinking about it. They're gonna make that money before their elders and their parents wake up. Okay. And so talk about, the good old days when people went and open up brick and mortar stores and brick and mortar businesses. Guys, today is all about the click and order stores and the click and order businesses. Okay. It's all about being online. When you look at these solar companies, solar is booming so big that companies are still opening their doors, okay, with geographically limited locations in that city that they live in, okay, or they want to do business in. They're paying $150,000 to $250,000 to actually open up that business, and good for them. They're probably going to be profitable if they do good business. Okay, all the things that you see here, that's what they're investing all that money in, and they're probably paying anywhere from 15 grand, 25 grand, 50 grand a month to keep the doors open and to scale it. For us, people like Dr. Arlene, myself, and the people who invited you guys, we open our brokerages for $200. Yeah, I'm telling you now, $200 gave us the same exact thing that people who put $150,000, $250,000 in a business, we get the same exact thing they get, except we don't have the headaches that come with it. We don't have employees. We can do business all over the United States of America, right? And we just don't have the problems, those challenges, but we make the money. Okay. And so that's what it's all about. You do things based on earning potential. Okay. And so how do you get started? Okay. When you look at a person who just wants to be a career individual, somebody who just wants to focus on sales, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We want you here, right? It's $149 to get your brokerage set up. Okay. And you get everything you see there and some when it comes to support, training, certifications, all that good stuff and the ability, guys, to sell not just the four things that we talked about today, but everything else that we have coming. Okay. And so that's $149. You have that option to sell anything we offer. $49 a month keeps you current, keeps you updated, keeps you plugged in, and the system supporting you. Now, for the people who see the bigger picture and you are now want to build a sales force, you want to go and open up your own business, your brokerage, right? You put yourself in a position where you want to take advantage of the residuals that you can't take advantage of on the career side. You want to get the business builder position. Okay, that's $199. See, a lot of you spent $199 last weekend on dinner and a movie, a comedy show, some shoes, a wardrobe, somebody's gift for Christmas, right? And again, you earn that money. You get to do whatever you want to with it. There's nothing wrong with it. But again, next Christmas, how about you put yourself in a position by making an investment in the company and letting us show you how to get all the money you just spent for Christmas back and some. Okay. We'll make sure December is a little bit different next year than it is this year. But let me share with you all the things that come with the business builder that did not come with the consultant pack. Okay. First of all, again, as a business owner, we want you to be on top of your game when it comes to being educated economically. Our Smart Money Club, guys, it takes care of you on a personal level and on a business level. Guess what? It also takes care of your family, your friends, and people who you want to share this information with. And we're not going to charge you nickel and dime you for everybody who you offer this information to. Okay? But we want to make sure we want to make sure that you get better, you get smarter, because there's so many people out there who open up companies because they are hustlers, they are grinders, and they know how to make money. They just don't know how to keep it. They don't know how to sustain it. They don't know how to scale it. They don't know how to diversify with it. They don't know how to go out there and build a legacy with it. Guys, that's what you're going to learn, and that's what you're going to benefit from, while you're here doing business with us. Okay. The other thing we have with our smart money concept is opportunities that are coming as well, other investment opportunities outside of just the business building side of it. Okay. So you now get opportunities that the people who are on the consultant membership don't. Okay. And so that's one thing. This is worth the money by itself. But when you look at the lifestyle side of it, okay, you have the Build Rewards membership. So this is another part of that. So now you have 50,000 restaurants that you can frequent, right? So you have people who you like steak restaurants, or you like seafood restaurants, you like fast food on the go, on the run, but more important than what you're eating, you like a discount, right? Rich and wealthy people don't pay full price for anything ever, right? That would be absurd to them. As a matter of fact, what they do is they take the savings and they invest it in other things. Just like those of you who are opting to go solar, you take your savings from solar and you go and invest it in other things. But retailers, right? You want to go and buy you something to wear, or you want to go and take your kids to a movie, a bouncy house, on a cruise. All of that is, comes in our 150,000 retailers. And then you have 850,000 travel providers. As I use the membership at the Bellagio in Las Vegas back in March. Five nights, save $28 a night. 6 nights in Los Angeles at the Hilton LAX, $31 a night, $186 I saved on that one trip. Okay. My wife and I went to Cancun for a 3-day getaway with my sister for her birthday, as we'd already bought the event back in January. I wish we would have knew about this, because we would have saved $317 on that 3-day getaway, but we didn't know about it. Okay. So remember, savings is the new earnings. If you don't get anything else from this conversation tonight, get that. Guys, stop paying full price for everything that you buy. I'm going to tell you again, rich and wealthy people They don't pay full price and they don't skimp on quality. They get the same exact thing you're getting. They're just not paying full price for it. Okay. Now let's talk about the subscription side of it and how the residual income comes into play, because this is the thing that from a monetary perspective got me to come back. Okay. It wasn't the solar, it wasn't the water, it wasn't security. It was the fact that the residual reoccurring income was sexy. Okay? When you look at businesses that are being built and open up right now, one of the fastest growing segments of business today are subscription-based businesses. And when you look at a lot of companies that are out there that blew up during COVID based on subscriptions because people couldn't go anywhere, they needed to entertain themselves and work from home. Fortnite, video game, adults and kids all around the world played it, right? Zoom, everybody who had to do business had a Zoom membership. Spotify, 239 million Spotify members, have memberships. 260 Netflix people decided to Netflix and chill, but that's subscribers, right? HBO, 100 million subscribers for HBO. But my favorite by far, based on what we have our hands on, what mirrors, this company, that you're looking at today, to Amazon. Okay. Let me share some with you guys. Jeff Bezos, has mastered the art of subscriptions. Okay. Most of you guys think that they only have, a subscription for Amazon Prime or a subscription for Audible. They have a subscription for groceries, a subscription for movies, subscription for music, subscription for a lot of different things. Every time that they get an idea about a subscription, you're paying for it, right? That's how, again, so when you look at 200 million subscriptions, guys, this man is set for life. Okay. They sell everything. And guess what? He gets paid on everything that they sell. But if all those things went away, right, and they just continue to come back and go and leave and go, and they replace those things that they're selling with other things, he's just going to continue to stockpile memberships. Okay. So we have an opportunity for you who are building, your brokerages, guys, and helping your people build their brokerages. Those subscriptions that come with those brokerages allow you to get paid a residual reoccurring income. As you can see, it can range anywhere from $500 a month to $250,000 a month. Just like Dr. Arlene says, the average marriage could be saved for an extra $500 to $1,000 a month coming into the household. That's the same amount of money that a person could use to stay out of bankruptcy as well. Okay. Some of you have, let's say a house note where your house note and a car note or two may be $4,000 a month. Imagine you working a 40, 50-hour work week and not having to spend anything from your check on your bills because it's taken care of based on your residual income. As again, this is what the richest and the wealthiest people around the world do. Let me share with you what people who have poor thought habits and processes do. They budget, right, to save money or to make sure they live month to month, right? People who are on their way to being wealthy and free, who leave the broke, area when it comes to finances and they work their way up, they budget for increase. And what I mean by that is they have the same amount of bills as everybody else. But what they do is they realize there's a category on that budget that's missing, extra income. Okay. And what they do is they find a way to make some extra income, make sure it's coming every month. So now, guess what they do? They take that $500 a month, which may not be a lot for you, and they now buy down a credit card that's $15,000 over time. Or they take that $500 a month, right? And they pay half of a child's private school tuition in one of these Montessori schools or something. Or they take that $1,000 a month, right? And they pay off their car note a little bit earlier, right? Whatever it is, guys, they're eating away at their debt and they're putting themselves in a position where they can now invest in things based on that residual, recurring income that's coming in every month. This is the thing. We made a fortune in residual income. That's why this is so sexy to me. That's why it doesn't matter about what we sell, guys. We are selling first in class, services already. So those products will get sold and overrides will get earned. But this is how you now change, okay, the projection and forecast something super different for your family's future. Like Dr. Arlene said, somebody's going to have her picture over a mantle And it won't be because of how much product she sells. It's going to be based on how big that residual income is that she builds. Okay. So with that, what I want you guys to do is get back with the person that actually invited you here today. Let them know, one, that you appreciate them thinking about you. Let me make something perfectly clear here. This is a brand new company when it comes to us being 1 year old. When it comes to the marketing side, and you're first to see it. Okay? But being first to see it and being first to take advantage of it are two totally different things. There are going to be a lot of people who will see this and miss it, and they're going to regret it and resent it. Okay. There are going to be a lot of people who see it, get it, and they're going to live to enjoy it. Okay. And we just want to make sure you're on the latter side of it. And again, $199, guys, and $99 a month to open up a business and run that business and be able to make the type of income that you desire and that you're willing to work for. That's unheard of. So we'll see you guys at the top. We'll see you guys at the bank, and we'll see you guys on the beaches of the world. And get back with the person who invited you and let them know you're ready to get your business started. Bye bye for now.